Okay, we're back with Star Trek Resurgence. We've just found out that the Resolute can't leave this goddamn space nonsense because of some bullshit, and we're going to figure out why. Something's in the planet, and it's driven the Hotari, who I think were slaves, to do some shit. I think that's what's going on. That's my thinger.
Ambassador Spock, Captain Solano, welcome to Hotari.
What up?
We are honored you've come. My name is Tyler Saltaris, Minister of Diplomatic Affairs.
You look like a cat person.
The honor is ours, and this is Commander Jara Rydick, first officer aboard the USS Resolute.
What's up?
You'll find she has a keen mind and unique insight into the dynamics between the Hotari and the Alydians.
Yeah, I'm pretty good.
Honored to be here as representatives of the Federation.
I'm so glad.
These must be the representatives of the mighty Federation. The reigning authority in the galaxy. Or so we've been led to believe. Whether that's true or not remains to be seen. But, either way, we're grateful you've made the time to come to our little corner of the universe.
You got big-ass hands, dude.
This is Galvin, and this is Citron, the heroes of the revolt in the mines.
You got rocks in your face. You look like a dumbass. Oh, wow, these guys look so much cooler.
Let's hope this is the last time we ever have to come here.
If you'll excuse me.
I think we're about to begin.
Did you hear the arrogance from that guy?
Yeah, reminds me of you, mustache.
What we're walking into here. But that guy was something.
Something about his tone tells me this won't be easy.
That was my sense as well.
I doubt he speaks for all of Hotari, so I would urge patience until we speak with their queen.
Wait, hold on, they have a queen, but they have like a cat. I don't know how this planet's, political dynamics work. But if it's a queen, shouldn't she be in charge? I have a big nose and a big mustache. So how y'all doing?
Ambassador Spock, welcome to Hotari Prime.
The honor is mine, Your Majesty.
That the Federation would send one of their most respected representatives is not
Wait, hold on, I've got to actually... Oh,
but recognition of our stature and importance.
Let's get on with it, shall we? With all due respect to the Federation and their ambassador, they have no authority here. We are not
excuse me?
of their
Maybe you should have washed your face before we turned up.
to their rule, nor yours. We demand the immediate return of all mining operations to Alydian control, as it has been for centuries and will be for centuries more. That has always been our understanding.
That understanding has changed.
Why?
And if you cannot remain silent, you will.
Like a tennis match. Pew, 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 pew.
His point
Pew.
is well taken. What is the Federation's interest in this matter? Perhaps you would have us trade one oppressor for another?
The Federation remains neutral. Our only interest is the peaceful resolution of this conflict. We are here at your request, Your Majesty.
See?
For now.
Stop fucking complaining.
Easy was an understatement. I thought they wanted us here.
We're not liked.
Was there something you wanted to say, Captain?
Oh, no. My apologies.
And what about the Kobliad?
She's not
She
part
can
of...
speak for herself, can't she? Then let her.
So, what up? I'm a Kobliad. I don't know what a Kobliad is. Oh man, your jacket's awesome.
is your name?
Commander Jara Rydek, Your Majesty.
Being a Kobliad, you would know better than anyone.
About what?
Your people suffered brutal treatment at the hands of the Cardassians.
The Kardashians?
Justice towards the Kobliad is as unimaginable as it is unforgivable.
I knew it.
Not
I knew there was space witches.
by the Alydians.
As much as they'd have you believe they are the victims here, remember it was the Hotari who attacked us. Hundreds of innocent Alydians were slaughtered without mercy in those mines.
The blood is on their hands, not ours.
Quiet! If after all the Kobliad suffered, you finally had the chance to right that wrong, to get out from under their control, would you take it? Or would you negotiate a peace?
I would negotiate.
There is no remedy for what the Kobliad suffered. And I fear who we might have become in pursuit of it. There is no justice if the oppressed become the oppressor.
Huh? Yes, yeah.
So I would willingly accept a peaceful resolution if it were offered. That is the real opportunity.
I'm so good at this, right as fuck. See?
Perhaps, Commander Rydek. Perhaps.
See, that's all we want.
Unfortunately, that was not the case, was it?
The fuck are you talking about?
It was not.
Peace is often elusive to those who need it most.
I don't like you. You're spooky.
It is the most powerful, most advanced alliance in the galaxy. It's widely known we have an abundance of dilithium in our mines. And it's in your interest to secure a steady supply.
Your Majesty, if I may.
Ambassador Spock would have us believe you're here as a neutral party in the interest of peace. So why are you really here? I want the truth, not your Federation.
Oh, man. We only want peace.
As Ambassador Spock has said, we've come seeking a peaceful resolution to this conflict, and have no interest in your dilithium.
I'm not nearly as naive as you must think. The Federation has done business with the Alydians for decades, which makes me question your motives.
What they haven't said, but cannot deny, is a simple truth. The dilithium trade would not and will no longer exist without Alydian involvement. We created it.
You know what's crazy? The animations on the aliens are better than the animations on the people.
We've given them warp technology. We've let them share in the profits. We've made their lives infinitely better than before dilithium was discovered. All of that goes away if the Federation turns a blind eye to their treachery.
That is enough of your lies! The Hotari are quite capable of running the mines. We've done so for centuries. Don't tell me, who deserves control of the dilithium trade and the mines on Tau? Who should the Federation recognize?
Oh, great.
The Hotari or the Alydians?
Oh, I'm gonna have to make it. You fucking.
Can only be one or the other, not both.
The Alydians.
If there can only be one, then it would be in the best interest of all involved if the Alydians resumed operation of the mines.
Oh, she gonna kill me?
We should not trust our fate to the Federation.
She speaks sense. You do well to listen to her.
And you do well to hold your tongue.
What are you gonna do about it?
We'll take back our minds by any means
Then
necessary.
you will see more blood spilled.
I am more than willing to address your concerns, Your Majesty. Yours as well, Representative. But I suggest we could have a more productive conversation with a smaller group. Perhaps only the most essential representatives.
I would agree.
Did she just shit herself?
I think this is best left to those of us with more experience in diplomatic matters.
Don't look at me like that. You could have done it.
Spock and I will cover everything on the diplomatic front. You make nice with the locals and see if you can get some answers. We need to find out why the Hotari are so willing to risk war. What happened in those mines?
There's something in the mines that's making the spaceships go all funky. Oh my god, the sensitivity is so high in this game. Jog over here, speak to this dude. No, can we? No? Alright, we'll go over here. Real quick, just let me check to see if this is still working. It is, just to make sure. Oh, hold on, let's drink some water. Oh, beautiful. Yum, yum, yum.
Soothing.
What up?
Commander, after hearing so much about the Federation's sense of fairness and justice, I was surprised that you sided with the Alydians. In all honesty, I expected more.
I'm not on either side. It's literally my job.
To be clear, I'm not on either side of this conflict. Our only interest is peace.
On the Alydians' terms, apparently.
I assume you were there the day the mines were seized from the Alydians.
Not seized. Reclaimed.
Yeah, but you weren't doing it before, were you?
Owners. Yes, I was there.
See, here's the thing. I would hold on. Well, I'm going to pause. I would completely agree, right, with the Hotari that the mines are theirs if the Alydians didn't open up the mines. Okay? There's definitely a case to be made that because it's the Hotari's planet, that what goes on there is their own shit. Okay? But from what I know so far, the Hotari would not have made any sort of progression at all. They certainly would have been part of the trade, and they wouldn't have progressed at all if it weren't for the Alydians. Now, that might seem like a rough thing, and the reality is the Hotari broke a deal. Now, at this point, they probably could be part of the trade, and they could still advance and stuff on their own, but they still broke part of the deal. So in my eyes, the Alydians are in the right.
Before the Alydians could even realize their worst nightmares upon them.
Did you have help from someone else?
Hotari stands alone against the Alydian forces. We don't need help from anyone.
You gotta give it to them. They're pretty badass for just standing up to an entire, like, galactic empire. Empire? Galactic civilization, whatever.
The greater the force, the more certain the outcome. Any talk of making peace is just that, and worth little without the strength to secure it. Which makes me wonder about your ship, the Resolute. Undoubtedly the Federation's finest warship. Ready to contend with anything the Alydians might have in store. Or is that not true? Maybe I've misjudged it.
It wasn't designed as a warship. More for scientific research and exploration.
But the Federation must have ships designed for war.
Technically, they're Starfleet ships representing the Federation. But yes.
I see.
Sidron.
A pleasure meeting you, Commander. I'm sure we'll cross paths again.
You have a very small nose, Sidron. I speak to these guys? No. Alright, so we're gonna go over here. Eyeless.
Commander Rydek, I have to admit, I was surprised when you said the Alydians should control the dilithium trade. I was under the assumption the Federation was neutral. But maybe I was wrong.
I can assure you, we aren't on anyone's side. We are and will remain completely neutral. You have my word.
I hope that's true. For all of our sakes.
That's for both.
Speaking with Sidron, our national hero. I'm curious, what did he say?
He seems to be of the opinion that negotiating for peace is a waste of time.
Because force is the only blunt instrument he understands. He's a miner, not a diplomat. For the first time in our history, the Hotari have the upper hand. We see ourselves as strong instead of downtrodden. New voices have risen up. Old voices shouted down.
Here's the thing though, were the Alydians treating them as slaves? Because from what I've gotten out of this so far is that the Alydians were paying for them.
Depending on your perspective.
I assume they've taken your place.
Like, it's not like the Alydians are taking all the profits.
Trusted advisors.
The Hotari have progressed through this because of what they've gotten by working with the Alydians.
Which is why you're here.
And there seems to be some sort of council where they agree on what progresses. Like, the only thing the Alydians do is supply the technology and run the trade.
No doubt. They could have retaken the mines whenever they wanted to. But it never happened. And as strange as this may sound, I'd almost say they're afraid. I just don't know what they're afraid of. It's still the same bluster and bravado you would expect from them.
Do you think it has something to do with the ion storm? Right now, it's stronger than ever, isn't it?
It's entirely possible. I'm not a scientist, but I do know the storm has knocked out all kinds of systems. So maybe the Alydians weren't willing to risk their ships, given all the interference. Since the day of the revolt, Galvin has seized control of the mines and restricted all access.
There's something in the mines.
Allowed without his personal authorization. And they've taken over a section of the palace with just as much secrecy and security. I'm told it could be something they brought back from the mines. Made inquiries, but everyone pretends it doesn't exist. I strongly suspect they're hiding something.
Duh!
Why would they do that?
I don't know. But that's what concerns me. Whatever they're hiding, it can't be good.
How can we know?
I have a mask. Did you see my mask? It is a very nice mask.
I'd better
I'm
see
going
what's
now.
happening.
Do you think you can find out what they're hiding? I need to see proof of something before I can make my case to the Federation.
I can try, but even if I found it, I might not know what to make of it.
Take this.
It's a pack of cigarettes. Oh, no? Okay.
And then send it to me.
Thank you. I will let you know what I find. And I look forward to our meeting again.
Hey, Blue Man.
I don't mean to bother you, but I couldn't help but notice you were speaking with the Hotari this whole time. I figured it might be useful if I offered another perspective.
Man,
Of course.
he looks really cool. I like his design.
I fully expected you to side with the Hotari, but obviously the Federation wants a steady supply of dilithium.
It's not about the dilithium. I have to stay neutral. That's literally my job.
In involvement, there is no dilithium trade. Left to the Hotari, it would be nothing short of a disaster.
We're not on either side. Our only interest is the peaceful resolution to this conflict.
As is ours. Of course, the question is, at what price?
Oh, I thought he was doing a different kind of salute there for a second.
Special Attaché, Alydian Armed Forces. Pleasure to meet you, Commander. I have my issues with the Hotari, but I have to give them some credit. They know how to seize an opportunity. Inciting an uprising the same day as a massive, once-in-a-lifetime ion storm.
Our assumption was that this storm was just an anomaly.
Yes, a very convenient anomaly. At least that was what we were told. Of course, I wasn't there.
What really happened?
Who am I to say otherwise?
Something tells me there's more to the story. So what really happened?
Well, the official story is that it was the storm that enabled the revolt. How else do a bunch of unarmed, unorganized miners seize control of an entire moon, much less thousands of mines? But I've talked to people who were there. They tell a different story. They say they're lucky to have escaped with their lives. that it was more than just the storm. That somehow the miners were able to harness the energy from the storm.
Ah, exactly. I knew it. I knew that's what it was.
It sounds crazy.
I knew what it was.
I'm not even sure I believe it myself.
You said the Hotari were primitive,
And they smell bad.
except for the part about weaponizing ion storms.
And they have those rocky things coming out of their cheeks. You can light a match off of it.
If you'll excuse me, Commander Ryder.
Report your findings to Captain Solano. Is that all we had to speak to? Is there no one else? What about this guy? Wow, they're the first alien species to speak in silence. I'm assuming Solano's over here.
Well, that was a disaster.
Well, that was a disaster.
Hotari refused to concede anything, so the Alydians stormed out.
The Hotari did not invite us here as peacekeepers. I hope your efforts were more fruitful than ours.
Gravitational harmonics failing to resolve. Warp bubble stability degrading. Increase output to maximum.
Uno?
Increasing warp output to maximum.
It's happening again.
Oh no, we are stuck in the space of Hotari.
It is evident that presently the Resolute cannot achieve warp propulsion.
Since our diagnostics rule out any problems with
That dude has the biggest fucking chin, I swear to God.
the problem appears to be the fabric of space itself.
Space itself? You're saying something about this region of space prevents warp travel?
Prevents it or can't sustain it.
However improbable, that appears to be the case.
The storm didn't stop us from leaving space dock and traveling here. But could it still be causing this interference with warp travel?
We must follow sound investigatory principles. Do not let an assumed conclusion drive your analysis.
Don't tell me what to do.
Inspired thinking, Mr. Chovak. Captain Solano is on his way back from the negotiations, and I want to have some answers for him when he gets here.
Indeed. Given the facts at hand, we may be able to deploy subspace probes around the ship to construct a clear picture of the phenomenon.
Around the ship. I'll prep a shuttle.
Cool. The scientific method. Man, the graphic fidelity isn't super high in this game, but the art direction is really, really nice. It looks so pretty.
Waypoint at a distance roughly corresponding to the edge of our warp field. When we get there, I'll deploy the first probe.
Alright, fly forward, fly backward, use that to turn. Alright, yep. Do 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 do. Meow.
Commander Westbrook, the Resolute systems are calibrated to receive the probe's readings. We are standing by to reproduce the warp field collapse after the first probe is deployed.
What does that mean?
Chovak will be in position shortly.
And, Mr. Diaz, do take care in piloting the shuttlecraft.
Will do.
The time to indulge in the human penchant for joyriding.
What? I've never joyrided did it before my life.
Chovak probably isn't such a fun guy to work for, huh?
He's not so bad.
Lieutenant Commander Chovak's not so bad. You know, once you get used to him. And, I've learned a lot working under him.
I'm doing okay. Ooh.
Feeling I'm going to have to work harder to be a political animal like you. This new first officer coming aboard.
What does that mean? I genuinely have no idea what that means. We're just not going to speak anymore. All right.
This is far enough. Transporting the first probe into position.
That definitely looks like a probe.
The first probe is deployed.
Understood. We are reading it. We are about to replay the simulation.
Problem? I just can't get a handle on her. Commander Rydek. She rejected my plan to use a deflector pulse against the storm surge. But on the other, she did listen to my advice and use the whole polarity trick to get you through that excursion alive. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the new XO. I'm sure she's a fine officer, even if we don't see eye to eye. But she didn't go through what the rest of us did. You know that. And it's hard to figure out why she'd be the one Solano chose instead of, well, one of us.
Well, maybe you should give her a chance.
I've heard some good things. You should at least give her a chance.
I'll take that under advisement.
Test is running. Warp field collapse in 3, 2, 1, mark.
Huh?
Whoa. All right, that is definitely a problem with the fabric of space. We need to get another probe out there.
All right, let's go figure. It looked like some kind of weird Matrix bullshit.
2 points of data, the Resolute and the probe. We've managed to get an interference pattern. I'm setting a waypoint to a particularly strong area of interference. We'll deploy the second probe there.
I don't know why I'm doing the
Listen, I'm gonna give you a piece of advice I wish someone had given me.
Jurassic Park theme.
Make sure you're never just one thing. Don't get so focused on what's in front of your face that you lose sight of the big picture.
Okay.
Rydek showed up. The captain pulled me into his ready room and told me he didn't think I had the people skills to be first officer.
You are kind of a dick.
What a load of crap.
Well, if you're asking, I think you're a people person. After all, here we are. Me, an enlisted officer. You, one of the senior staff. Talking like old buddies.
I should send Solano to talk to you.
Maybe you should. I'm pretty fucking cool.
I'm sure you can handle him.
Got this awesome scar.
Got potential. You're a capable engineer. You're good in the field.
Banging a ginger.
Good work. Solid jack of all departments like you could be commander-in-chief of Starfleet one day. Hell, Admiral Jellicoe Starfleet.
Can you get me a promotion?
I love it. So put me up for promotion. I'm ready for my next challenge.
Well, I think you're going to have to prove that to your boss, Chovak, first. He's the one who has to put you up for consideration.
Maybe I'll try the science division.
Would be different.
Well, what do you think? Is there room for me in the science division?
Unless I can come up with a real good reason.
This isn't enough?
It might be.
I'm really liking this game. Like, it's not a masterpiece by any sense of the word, but it's a lot of fun. And I do like the diplomacy aspect. It's not something you get a lot in games.
Deploying the probe. Westbrook to Commander Chovak. We're ready for another sampling of data.
Very good. Running the simulation again.
Running the simulation again.
3, 2, 1, mark.
What the hell is that shit?
There it is again.
I saw it. It seems to be directional.
Well, what about the scans? Anything?
Here's the readings in relation to our local space. We've got the Resolute, Hotari Prime, and the probes.
All this interference is overloading the sensor buffers. We're gonna have to triangulate the sensors manually.
Okay. So, hold on. What? Resolute?
We got something.
There we are.
These markers indicate peaks in the gravimetric interference patterns.
Let's see if I can find some more.
Am I missing here? Oh, there we are.
Hold up. This is coming from the moon.
A beam that blocks warp travel.
Aimed right at us.
Someone is doing this intentionally.
I told you!
I don't know how they're doing it. This is like nothing I've ever seen.
We're under attack and we didn't even know it. We need to stop them. Unplug whatever it is they're hitting us with.
Now, look here. These are current readings of the ion storm.
These concentrations. They line up with the interference pattern. The storm and this beam, they're coming from the same place.
Carter,
Huh?
whatever petty local conflict brought us here, it's just a small part of something much bigger.
All right, we're calling it there. All right? Next episode, we're going to figure out what the hell we got to do. Got to do some shit, and we got to save some stuff, all right? Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, bye-bye. Huh?